Hey girl, Marissa here. You are listening to the Codependummy Podcast. As a young woman, you have been raised, reinforced, and rewarded for putting the needs of others above your own. Now, in your 20s, you're finding yourself exhausted, exasperated, and enveloped in shit relationships, especially the one you have with yourself. Codependency is a way of being where we put the feelings, wants, and needs of others above our own in an unconscious attempt to meet our own feelings, wants, and needs. Sorry to break it to you, sis, but that is not sustainable. This podcast is to help you undo all that so you can stop playing small and start taking up space, you dummy. Let's get to it. Hey girl, hey. Welcome to episode 64. We will sing a little Beatles tune. When I get older, losing my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine, birthday greetings, bottle of wine? If I'd been out till 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Will you still need me? Baby girl, will you still feed me now that we've been here for 64 episodes? Hopefully. I will still need and feed myself. And I need and will feed you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, relationally. Encourage you to feed yourself physically. Yeah. Today's episode, another Codependummy Confession deep dive, where we will discuss how hysterical reactions indicate historical feelings. If it's hysterical, it's historical is a saying I've heard in my field of psychotherapy. It's a slogan or saying in 12-step programs. If it's hysterical, it's historical. And I wanted to unpack that today. Excuse me. We will be answering, how do hysterical reactions in the present demonstrate historical feelings from the past? And I wanted to look into and share about an experience that does a good job demonstrating this, in hopes that you stop thinking you're crazy, dramatic, pathetic, or stupid, right? Being a dummy when it comes to strong emotional reactions over seemingly slight provocations. Emphasis on seemingly. Okay. If it's hysterical, it's historical. You think you're being all weird and emotional and shit, but no. Your emotional response, your feelings, your sentiments, they make sense. It's completely understandable. And we're going to conclude with how to respond to your feelings with self-tenderness as opposed to self-denial, neglect, self-condemnation. Before that, Let's have our check-in. I'm going to hydrate a little bit. I have my honey chamomile tea. It's hot. What has been the general mood this week? Happy, sad, angry, scared, etc. Neutral. Anything you did that you're proud of? I'm so proud of you for that. Anything you did you were ashamed of? I empathize with that. And I'm curious, have you had a strong emotional reaction that, opposed to condemning yourself for, we can practice curiosity? Like, oh, damn, I got really anxious. Or, oh, snap, I'm pissed. And looking at that with curiosity. As always, let's take some deep breaths. One more. Okay, last one. All right. How do hysterical reactions in the present demonstrate historical feelings from the past? Let's begin with definitions. Hysterical. It means affected by uncontrolled extreme emotion. It's a reaction derived from uncontrolled extreme emotion, right? You're being hysterical. And there's a history to the term hysteria, which we're not going to dive in today. Hysterical. She's hysterical. He's hysterical. Oh my gosh, they're being hysterical. And the word historical means belonging to the past, not the present. It belongs back there, back then. It's part of history, belonging to the past, not the present. If you find yourself having an uncontrolled, extreme emotional reaction, I would argue that 9 times out of 10, the feelings, the emotions you are having in the present belong to the past. That is my biased psychotherapist opinion. I do not mean to deny, invalidate, dismiss your current feelings. I encourage you to look at them and investigate how they relate to your past. It's a combination of present triggers and past unresolved emotions. An example of a hysterical reaction connected with unresolved historical feelings. A few weeks ago, I had a flashback to an incident when I was 21 years old, second or third year at college. This huge emotional reaction over what seemed like nothing, okay? So I'm going to school, UC Santa Barbara, go Gauchos. And I had a close male friend. We will call him Captain. And he lived in the dorms across the hallway from me. So we met during my first year and we're good friends. And he was so cute. He was such a cutie. Yeah, I adored him. And we had this flirtatious friendship where we flirted and cuddled. And yet I shared about my dating woes with him. He shared about drama with his ex-girlfriend and other girls he was hooking up with me. And it was what any 20-year-old girl wants in a boy, right? A gray, undefined, confusing, and casual friendship / flirtatious relationship. And at that time, 21 years old, I was deeply codependent, profoundly codependent, and yet not aware of it. I thought I was crazy and addicted and pathetic, but not knowing that I was unconsciously putting the thoughts, feelings, and needs of everyone around me above my own in an attempt to fulfill my own thoughts, feelings, and needs. I didn't know it. I didn't know. So, how my codependency showed up in my relationship with him was I needed him to be perfect to feel okay. And he was perfectly imperfect, where I put him on a pedestal of perfection while simultaneously doing what I could to take care of his thoughts, feelings, and needs. So you be perfect, and I'll handle your thoughts, feelings, and needs as perfectly as I can. Unconsciously, I sense that I hope that by doing this, things would become more serious between us. It would bring us closer. And being codependent, I had very high expectations of myself, right? Obviously, I have to please everyone. And I expected a lot out of him too. I didn't expect a lot out of everyone, but yeah, I'm interested in him romantically, sexually, socially, lots of Elise ways that I'm into him. And yeah, he was charismatic, handsome, smart, sweet, spontaneous, and I worshiped him casually. I covertly worshiped him. If he liked something, I was interested. He was a big pothead. I hated weed. I'd get high with him. If he made an opinion on someone or something, I was like, yeah, you're right. That is it. I loved him. Oh man, I remember stalking him on Facebook and looking at all his photos, like all of them. Okay, I think I've painted the picture enough. I was codependent. My well-being was dependent on him meeting, maintaining, and embodying certain expectations I had for who my partner would be. And our second or third year, whatever year it was, we had a class together that met 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, early, maybe 9:30. And we'd always sit together and we'd share snacks and pass notes. And I loved it. I loved it. And one day, you guys, one horrible, awful, unexpected day, I made the trek to campus on a bicycle. We rode bikes then there, parked my bike, went to go to our area where we sat in the lecture hall. It was a Friday, if I didn't already say that. And let's say class starts at 9. So it's like 8:56, 8:58, 8:59, 9 o'clock, 9:01. And where's Captain? It's 9 o'clock. It's 9:01. He can't be missing class, especially class with me. Hello, I'm here. He's slowly falling in love with me. And he's supposed to be perfect. He's supposed to be here. Where is he? And girl, I proceeded to have an uncontrolled and extreme emotional response. Okay? I'm going to list the feelings that I recall consciously, and yet I'm going to list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-ish. And arguably there were 10 to 15 in waves in what proceeded to happen. Okay. First of all, I was anxious. I was worried. I was nervous. Where is he? Is he okay? He should be here. It's 9:02. Oh my God. Is he going to miss class? He can't miss class. Oh my God. And I remember begging to the gods, because I don't know, I didn't have that much of a spiritual life back then, but just like, oh my God, like, please, 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 please send him, please get him here. Please get him here. He can't miss. Oh my God, please, please, please. And I think too, I was like praying to him, like, please, Captain, please be on your way. Please don't miss class. Please show up late. Please, you cannot miss class. Please. I was yearning for him. So anxious AF. Next emotion, dread. I write this great fear or apprehension, similar to anxiety, but as time went on, as 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he hasn't come, just this dread, this awful dread overcoming my body, and just going back and forth, like, he's coming. He just slipped in. He's responsible. He's reliable. He's mature for a 20-year-old man at a party school. He'll be here. And then, like, oh my God, he's not showing up. What if he doesn't come? What if he doesn't make it? Oh my God. Ugh. He's just like all the other idiots who aren't here. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh God. It was awful. Dread. Awful. Disappointed. I was sad and displeased because he was not meeting my expectations. He is supposed to be here. He had to be there. You are perfect, Captain. You've been perfectly imperfect. Like, of course, he wasn't perfect, but he was perfect to me. And I needed him to be there so I could feel okay. He had to be at every class, especially on Fridays, not to be like all the other idiots at our school. And yeah, I felt disillusioned. He was less good than I had believed. I was completely distracted. I don't even know if I took notes. I think I maybe made it look like I was typing notes. Maybe I typed a couple words the professor was saying, but I was completely consumed by his absence and I could not shake it off. I could not think to myself, okay, Marissa, it's been half an hour. Like, he's not coming. I was like, he has to come. He has to be here. Oh my God, if he doesn't come, I was completely consumed with where is he? And yeah, I remember people came late. Like someone came 5 minutes late. You hear the lecture hall door close. I'm like, oh, no, wasn't it? 10 minutes late. Oh, it's not him. I think someone even came 20 minutes late, right? Kudos to them. And door closes. It was not him. And by the end of that lecture, I felt defeated. I was demoralized. I was overcome. My perfect pedestaled captain, his pedestal had crumbled because I was so black or white, all or nothing thinking, codependent. And yeah, I felt like a deflated balloon by the end of class, just like the air slowly went out. It didn't pop, it slowly deflated. Heartbroken, just devastated over his absence from our Friday lecture in a class. And I think I texted him like, "Hey, where are you? Like, dude, what's your deal?" And yeah, I can't remember what he said, but I think it was something like hungover. Bleh. Right? A 20-year-old male at a party school. He was being very human. And I had a visceral reaction too, right? My chest felt heavy. My thoughts were racing. I felt weighed down in my chair. Just this insidious dread overwhelming my body. And even now, I'm embarrassed to admit this. And also, like, this was it. This was where I was at, given that captain missed class. Hysterical. 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 And if it's hysterical, girl, it's historical. How do we know it's historical? Okay, we know it's hysterical as evidenced by my feelings, but how do we know it's historical? Okay. I'm curious if a situation has come up for you. Okay, maybe this, today, this past week, this past month, this past year, this past decade, right? When were you hysterical? I want you to start with that. Okay, identify the situation. Next, identify the feelings, right? Like I listed, I was anxious, disappointed, disillusioned, dread, defeated, lots of D emotions. I think I was hurt. Right? He didn't come to class and I was in class. It hurts my feelings. You're not here. Identify the feelings. And last, to find out how it's historical, ask yourself, when have I been in a situation and felt similarly to this before? Okay. For me, I felt similarly with boys I had liked in high school, at least in high school. I don't think before that. And I also experienced similar feelings in response during certain experiences or interactions with my dad. Growing up, he was this perfect dad, right? I'd put him on a pedestal. I think he unconsciously put himself on a pedestal. Like he was great. He did a good job. And yet he's human. News alert, our parents are humans, and he was human, and he fell at times. And I was disappointed, disillusioned, anxious, hurt, felt dread in response. However, back then, when I had those initial feelings, it wasn't like I was able to say, Dad, I'm feeling disappointed by how human you're being. I'm anxious right now because you're not acting like the person I've worshipped. I was little. I was a little girl. I was an adolescent. I was a teenager. And I did not have the words. I did not have the time. I did not have the awareness to do or say that. And thus, it makes sense that while sitting there and waiting for Captain, who, like my dad, I'd put on a pedestal of perfection, it makes sense that all these feelings came up. And it makes sense for your feelings. It doesn't seem to make sense. It sounds crazy, but when you have a hysterical reaction in your present, it's due to unresolved historical feelings from your past. And I have to process those times with those boys I liked in high school disappointing me, and those times with my dad when I felt disillusioned, right? We got to go back to the root. How can you practice a tender response to your own hysterical reactions? Okay. History repeats itself. Thus, if you have unresolved feelings from your past, from your history, you are going to either put yourself in situations or you will be put in situations that will provide you the opportunity to process them. Unfinished business demands to be finished. Unresolved feelings, they want to be resolved. Okay, so you identify the situation that you're feeling hysterical. You identify the feelings, and then you ask yourself, how does this relate to my past? When have I felt similarly before? And you go to those feelings and you journal, talk to your therapist, you call a friend. You may need to bring it up to the person triggering them. You may need to do that. But most important, right? Being recovering codependents, healing our codependency, you have to acknowledge, share, process, tell, and feel those feelings with an audience of yourself. Allow them to pass through you, accept them, release them, and then you won't have to sit for a 60 or 75-minute lecture completely overwhelmed because your 20-year-old male friend / flirt isn't there. I do want to read Melody Beattie. I've talked about her a lot on the podcast. She's written a lot of books on codependency. And she has a book, The Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations on Codependency. You guys want to check it out. When it comes to feelings, she says, oh, this is perfect. So I'm not reading the whole thing, but November 19th. Sometimes the feelings are a direct reaction to others. Sometimes people trigger something deeper, an old sadness or frustration. Regardless of the source of our feelings, they are still our feelings. We own them, and acceptance is often all that is necessary to make them go away. If we allow our feelings to pass through us, accept them, release them, we shall know what to do next. And she doesn't say this, but it's like, and then we can move forward. If it's hysterical, it's historical. Historical feelings cause hysterical reactions. So your homework is to look at hysterical reactions with tenderness and do what you can to excavate, get to the root, those historical feelings. We got to process those. Okay? If you guys are wanting more, you can go to codependummy.com for resources, journaling prompts, you know the deal. As always, please and thank you for a rating, review, subscription, and share. I love you. I'm wishing you an amazing day, a beautiful week, and a encouraging deep dive into your hysterical reactions with tenderness. And I will see you guys next week. Hey girl, it's Marissa again. I'm not like a regular podcaster, I'm a cool podcaster, right? Thank you for listening and staying till the end. You can find me on Instagram at Therapy with Marissa. Email me, marissa@codependummy.com. Check out codependummy.com for more information on the show. And baby girl, a subscribe, rating, and review would be much appreciated. Till next time, I want you to remember, if you are feeling unseen, I see you. If you are feeling unheard, I hear you. And if you think that you don't matter, know that you matter to me. I want you to go out there so you can stop playing small and start taking up space, you dummy. And now, the disclaimer. Girl, this is not therapy and I am not your therapist. This podcast is designed to provide accurate and authoritative information in regards to the subject matter covered. It is given with the understanding that neither the host, publisher, or guests are rendering any legal, clinical, or other professional service. If you want or need a professional, please find one.